What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Yapping podcast, where today we are going to yap about some topics. Let me try to get this for it doesn't there it is. All right, cool. All right, so if you guys are new to the Yapping podcast, as it is only 2 episodes in, all right, um, as of right now, I'm kind of just going to talk about random topics. I'm going to pick 3 topics and I'm going to talk about them. Eventually, I would like for, eventually I would like for you guys to give me topics you guys would like me to talk about. And the idea of talking about these topics is kind of, it's the idea of talking about an issue and then trying to come up with a solution. It's also more of like a kind of just a therapy session, obviously there's a million podcasts out there, but I like to take a more realistic approach and attack every angle. So if you guys are into that, definitely, subscribe to the channel and, follow along as we go through these episodes and we talk about a variety of different topics. But with that being said, hey, Marlies. So that way you guys understand what my main focus is. Okay. So the main focus of this channel is going to be roughly around, Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, stop, gaming, sports, and then random stuff. And I obviously have to get to the point where I put a overlay so that way you guys know what topics we're going to talk about. I will also, after I end the stream, and the reason why I want to do a live podcast stream is because I would like to have a questionnaire throughout the stream because I think it brings value to everybody and everybody can get, instead of it just being a video and comments, like I'd rather answer your guys' question live. And then that way it's a better open discussion. So hopefully you guys enjoy. So with that being said, the 3 topics we're going to talk about today is the first one's going to be Call of Duty health regen. I want to talk about health regen and how I just think it's just a flawed system in itself. The second thing is we're going to get into the in-season tournament rewards. I know that they have the 500,000 if you guys watch sports or anything. Wait for that segment. And then the last segment, which is something I want like a lot of y'all to listen to, is something that I personally just went through is like 2 weeks. Okay, so right after Thanksgiving, I basically took 2 weeks off. And I want to dive into what I mean by that. I didn't necessarily take 2 weeks off. It was kind of a struggle 2 weeks. And I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about more of like the mental side, mental health. Cause I'm all about motivation and like trying to figure out how to like be consistent, disciplined. And I want to talk to you guys about that. So let's get right into it. So, all right, let's do this. First topic. Let's do this. First topic is going to be, hey, Dakota. Second topic is going to be season tournament. Third topic is going to be 2 weeks off. Now, actually, since I have, well, okay, let's just dive right into this. Okay, so first things first. All right, first things first is Call of Duty health regen. Okay, in Call of Duty, since if I remember correctly, Black Ops 4. Okay, Black Ops 4 had where you had to heal yourself. Okay, to start your regen. And in that game, because everybody had to do it, it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay. It was basically like it was part of the game. You had to heal yourself. Maybe that's something we could do. I don't know how to do that. What, Discord? Guther, how about next? How about we set up one for How about we set up one? How about we set up one? Oh, I have guests on? Got topics. I'll have. What? Message me and we'll set it up. Yeah. All right. So let's get into this. So again, Call of Duty Health Regen. So in Black Ops 4, they had it was a part of the game. So if you guys didn't play Call of Duty Black Ops 4, basically you had equipment, and one of those equipments automatically was health regen. You always had to heal yourself. You had to heal yourself. And so ever since Black Ops 4, they kept adding what is called a stem shot, which is basically the same thing as Black Ops 4, but it wasn't necessary because after Black Ops 4, they took that away and you could still heal automatically. My issue with the stem cell, one, it's an equipment, so now you're taking, it's a tactical equipment, so now you're taken away from using stuns, flashbangs, smokes, and all that stuff. And the second thing to that is it's just my personal feeling is that what they're doing is they're taking your health and slowing it down on purpose, so it's something you have to do. And I don't like that. All right, me personally, I do not like that, how they're manipulating me. And here's the thing, right? Is I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2007, right? Call of Duty 4. And so the fact that I've been playing Call of Duty all these years, and then out of the blue, they're like, yo, let's change this up. Like, it's frustrating. And I could be like, oh, you're just old and you can't game anymore. But like, you have to understand, like, you're adding mechanics to the game that don't need to be there. And so like, when you have a game that's as fast paced as Call of Duty is, and then you're like, yo, now you have to heal yourself. Like, this isn't like a League of Legends type Smite type game. Like, this game is spawn, run in, try to get as many kills as you can, play the objective, and get out. Like, I don't have time to sit here and heal myself. And Exclusive Ace came out with a video yesterday. Yeah, I've been, he came out with a video yesterday going through all the different levels of healing. And it's like, why does it take 4 to 5 seconds for your health to even start to regen? Bro, the game is faster than that. So if I get into a gunfight, I only have I have to wait 5 seconds before I start to heal. That doesn't make any sense. So the only thing that that makes sense to me, right, as the developer, is it makes it easier for people to get kills, which then in turn makes me think that it's to help new players and bad players, right? Because if I get a kill and someone else tries to come at me, but they didn't heal up, I can get an easier kill because they didn't fully heal up. And 5 seconds in Call of Duty is a long time. And so my thing is like, it doesn't belong here, right? It's too fast of a game. And this argument of, oh, well, get good, learn how to do this, learn how to do that. It's like, you say that, but then they add sliding, faster movement, fluider movement. Like, there's no time to breathe. And you know what's funny is, after playing all these Call of Duties these past couple years, like, that's how I feel. I feel like there's never a time to breathe or get my bearings on like what's going on. So if you guys didn't watch my stream last night, I streamed Fortnite and then I went and played Infinite Warfare from 2016, 17. Okay. I played Infinite Warfare and I had a good time. Like, I had a decently good time. And don't get me wrong, you're like, oh, well, everybody, that no one plays that game, there's bots. I was not playing bots. I was playing, good, decent players that were actually like doing good. Like, you obviously back in those Call of Duties, you could see their score. And I never felt like I didn't control what was going on. I felt like, even as a person who hasn't played that game in such a long time, I was still on top of the leaderboards. Go watch the stream. You'll see me. Like, I was top of the leaderboards in most of my games because I know how to play Call of Duty. And that game didn't hinder me from not having my health. Like, I don't have to stem up. And so to my point of this game is, or not just this game, but like the past couple games, they're manipulating the game on purpose. So that way you have to make decisions. But if you like, how do I say this? If what they did since 2019 is they've lowered the health. They not lowered the health, but they've made it to where your health regen is slow as shit, right? They've also given you equipment so that way you can heal. So it's kind of that one like that gotcha bullshit, right? They're like, oh well, if you don't like, it's try to cover up, right? They've lowered the time, or oh, this is what I was saying. So they've slowed down the time that it takes to heal, but they've increased the time to kill. Now, the argument, right, is they're going to say, oh, well, in Modern Warfare 3, they buffed it 150. Bro, you can't even tell. You can't even tell because the health regen is so slow. That's why there's stem shot in the game. That's why there's battle rage in the game. That it's like, that's why there's all these different things that, you know, is like to like keep you from getting health back. You know, crippling all the little ammunitions where it like slows your health regen down. It's like, why are you so keen on making it hard for my health to regen? That's because you want players to have low health to make it easier for people to get kills. How about instead of doing that, you have, like Guther said here, you have you have auto heal, and you just have players get good at shooting their weapons. You have 1,000,001 attachments in the game that would determine whether a gun is good or not. And this is why now I'm starting to realize why it feels like sometimes your weapons shoot very fast and sometimes your weapons shoot very slow. The health regen is inconsistent. There's so many different things that people could like. You could shoot a guy, he goes around the corner, he comes back, he popped a stem. And now you're like, you didn't know that because you didn't see him pop the stem. And so it's like, man, like I remember like back in the old days, like if you shot somebody and they went around a corner, you mentally knew how much health they had. Bro, in this game, you don't know how much health they have. So here's my solution, right? Here's my solution to the health regen in Call of Duty. Make it auto heal, and it should be not 5 seconds, or like I think it's like 4 seconds, like the what he said. I don't remember exactly what. I'd have to look it up. It's exclusive Ace video. I'll link it. You know what? Actually, let me do that real quick. I'll link it in the description real quick for you guys so you guys can watch that. Because he goes, see, and this is the thing, like this is no shot at exclusive Ace, but let me find the video for you guys. Let me find the video. Because this is the problem that we've had with Call of Duty the past couple years. Let me do this real quick so you guys can see it. All right. Let me paste that. All right, check the link in the description, and I'm going to post it in the comments so you guys can see that. Go check that out later. But basically, the frustrating thing is, to get to my point, the frustrating thing is, right, is exclusive Ace, and again, not to knock him because I understand. But I would, again, like I said, on this podcast, I want to see both sides. But we also need to understand like what the goal is for everybody. So exclusive Ace basically said that he would like to see a gear that's added that has, you know, minus 20% health regen speed, or, you know, whatever, plus it, whatever to make it go faster. And then have another like two benefits to health regen. And then have like an equipment, so like the same way that the other gear has, like the vests have the same what's it called? The same description as something as like the boots or something, right? So if you wear the, or not the boots, but it's the gear, I think. Like everything in the gear is the same thing as a vest. So it's you know it's the same thing. So you have the same thing. And I'm like, I don't understand why we're like, I get it, like I get the idea, right? You have to play the game, right? Like the game is the game, and you're only gonna make solutions, right, to what the game is offering. And I understand that. But I wish that there would be like I wish he would say both sides. I wish he would say, for this game, this is what we could do for the quick, for the pun intended, for the quick fix, because obviously there is no quick fix in the game. But then there should be a Call of Duty fix. And I'm saying, like, going forward in Black Ops, whatever the new Call of Duty is, or whatever Call of Duty go for, whatever, in the next Call of Duty, there should be no such thing as quick fix type deal, unless, hear me out, unless your health regen is auto, like Gunther said, and then you wanted to add extra, right? That's different. But going forward in Call of Duty itself, every Call of Duty going forward should have auto heal and no such thing as stems, battle rages, or quick fix. Like, it shouldn't be in the game. The game is too fast paced for me to be worrying about how, like, when I need to heal, how much health I have. I shouldn't be doing that. I'll go play Fortnite. I'll go play Apex. I'll go play Smite. I'll go play all those other games where I have to think about healing. That's what those games are made for. Call of Duty is not made to be this tactical fucking shooter where I need to worry about health. You know? Obviously, in an instance, right? Like, if I've been shot, I know I'm low, I'm gonna play slower, right? Anything that, like, I honestly can't control away. Because in real life, if I got shot in the arm, like, my mental is gonna be stronger, you know? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it just, like, don't, like, take it out of the game. Going forward in Call of Duty, health regen shouldn't be in the game. Like, it shouldn't be, like, you shouldn't have to worry about your health regenning in the game. It doesn't make any sense to a fast-paced shooter, right? I should be focused on what's in front of me, what's the objective in front of me, and let's go attack it. And the only thing I should be worried about is if I see somebody and I shoot at them and they go around a corner, I should know that with my full health and I just weaken them, that I gotta push them. And so there's so many ways you could look at it this way, but like, I understand what Exclusive Ace is saying about doing the quick fix and adding the vest that has a quick fix perk type deal to it. But I'm gonna take the macro approach, and I just think that health regen should just automatically heal you in the game, and you shouldn't have a stem or something to heal you. What do you guys think? Because man, it's just frustrating to have to deal with. You know, I went back and played Infinite Warfare, and I'm looking at my perks, and I'm looking at my attachments. They're very simple shit. You know, fast mags, grip, long barrel, extended mags, done. Perks, ghost, flat jacket, hardline. Like, they're simple perks. Dead silence. You know, like, they're simple shit. Like, stop making these games so overcomplicated in a fast-paced action arena shooter. Like, we don't need all that, right? If I want to worry about health and being tactical, I'll go play a game such as PUBG, you know? Even in Halo has it to where your health regen is the same. There's no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, back in the day it was, but I don't know about now with all the new shit that's going on. It's just my 2 cents, my thoughts. You guys let me know what you think. What do you think about health regen? All right, let's move on to the next topic. All right, hopefully this is we're switching up into the sports section. Like I said, I'm winging it, you know, in the sense of kind of like what we're talking about. Obviously, I schedule like I do 3 topics. I 20 minutes to each topic, whatever, and then you know, we move on. Like I said though, I would like to talk about You know, I would talk about more stuff, but maybe we just do 3 an episode, and maybe I do more episodes only because I would like to give, like I said, I would like to do like 10 to 15 minutes of like me talking about it, or maybe less, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes of interacting to what you guys are saying and going over some questions and thoughts. But like I said, let's go into the in-season tournament. So, ironically, my Lakers won the in-season tournament. And, you know, I'm not getting into the debate of LeBron James or whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm strictly talking about the rewards. Okay? So now if you guys didn't know, the rewards for getting winning the in-season tournament was $500,000 for each player and coach on the winning team, and then $200,000 for the losing team. And here's what I'm gonna argue. Okay, first season looked like a success. It looked like it. First season, really good. The reason why it looked really good was because the face of the NBA, LeBron James, won it and wanted to win it. And so it made everybody else kind of come through with it. And so my argument to it only being about money, and let me pause before I go on to say my statement. If any of y'all say some bullshit like, oh, well, the players need more money to be motivated, motherfucker, yes, they do. Because you go to work to get paid. And I guarantee you, if you got paid more to do the same job that you would do it. Okay, so get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Don't put that shit in my comments. Don't put that shit in the chat. Listen, if your job said, hey, you get paid $15 an hour to come here and stock these shelves, but hey, we're going to pay you an extra $300 for one week on your paycheck to come and stock these shelves and stay an extra hour, your ass would do it. Get the fuck out of my face. 1 extra hour, you would do it. Get the fuck out of my face for that shit. You would. So going forward, we will not say, oh, the NBA is a bunch of whiny babies and they want more money. No, shut the fuck up. Because everybody wants more money. Everybody wants more money. And that's why all y'all hate your jobs. And that's why all y'all complain about shit and like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you guys got to understand, everybody wants money. And if you were getting paid. But with that being said, this is my point, is I would argue that it's going to get old, because as much as I like $500,000 and as much as the losing team gets $200,000, I don't know if, like, you think about it, watch what happened to the Pelicans, right? The Pelicans got smashed, you know, and at the end of the day, like, a lot of people don't do stuff for money. So it's going to be hard to get teams to fully buy into winning a tournament just for money. And so I would argue that the money is good, but I would also add more. And here's my suggestion. And I know that I think that I saw it on Facebook or what's it called? Maybe Instagram. I don't know. I saw a post where it was like the NBA is thinking about making to where you get an automatic playoff spot if you win the in-season tournament. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if they automatically get a tournament spot, or they automatically get a playoff spot, what happens? What happens after they win it? Bro, if you think about it, they were 14-9 when they won the in-season tournament. That's just a little over 20-some games, right? What are they going to do the rest of the season? Cruise? Bullshit? Like, no. Getting an automatic playoff spot is just not worth it to me. You know, now I know it's only one team. Only one team gets to do it. But think about that. Like, now your playoff bracket that you have for the wild card and all that stuff, like, that literally just goes down to one less now. For a team that got, like, I'm not saying it got lucky, but you think about, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that there's a tournament, but I also understand that there's extra shit to it. What I mean by that is the season just started. Not everybody's on 100 miles an hour, and everybody's not, locked in. It's not like playoff crunch time. Like, everybody's kind of getting their feet under them. So, like, kudos to my Lakers for winning it. But, like, I also understand that, like, maybe a lot of teams maybe they're not, like, healthy, right? Like the Suns, they didn't have Bradley Beal, right? And there's other teams that are just not healthy to make a run early in the season, And so I totally understand that, but, we just have to, it's just not fair that they would just automatically get a playoff spot because any team can do that. And so then it kind of defeats the purpose for teams on the back end to go for a playoff spot when there's only 6 left. So here's my thought is I like the 500. Maybe you bump it up to a mil, maybe 7,500 or a mil and 500. I don't know. That's just my thought. Maybe more money, more better, but when it comes to the like, my argument would be is maybe you get to choose which team you get to play for, like within the bracket, right? Like, so obviously if you win the tournament, but then, like, let's say you seed, 8th and you got to play the number 1 seed, right? Maybe instead you get to choose which team you get to play. And that might change it around because then it would make a difference, right? Like, obviously if you're number 1 seed, you get home court advantage and you were the best team in the league and you shouldn't care who you play. That kind of ties in with number 2 and maybe number 3, depending on how you feel. But if I'm like, let's say I'm the number 1 seed, but I also won the in-season tournament, I'm like, yo, like, I want to play this team because maybe the 8th seed isn't a good matchup for you. And you're like, yo, like, let me play this team. Maybe you want to play the number 2 seed because you want to knock them out early. I don't know, maybe something you think that's one of the solutions that I would argue because I just don't think a guaranteed playoff spot. Like, what does the team do from the in-season tournament to, the end of the season? Like, what seed did they get? Right? Like, if they don't have to play for seed at that point, what's the reward then? Because the point of the seeding is to see who gets home court advantage, right? Obviously number 1 seed has a home field all the way through, and then whoever has the highest seed, between the West and the East, that's who decides the home court advantage. So I mean, I don't really know like what you would do there. The other option too, like this was just kind of add on, is like, why doesn't the All-Star game determine who gets home court advantage? They're going back to the East and West this year. So I think that that's what they should do. Is the East and West, and you think about it, the best players that make the All-Star game are usually on playoff teams. And so they're going to want their team to have home court advantage in the finals. So that's something that they could think of. I think, again, every game should have some sort of consequence or reward to it. Everybody complains about how bad the All-Star game is. Yeah, there's no reason. It's just an exhibition game. So give, like baseball does. Like, if you win, and that's why no one watches the NFL. The baseball, the MLB All-Star game is the best All-Star game because it has a reward for it. You get home court advantage for the whichever side, the National League or the American League. And so that's what I think they should do. Now, again, back to the in-season tournament. Like I said, I personally don't think that it should be a guaranteed playoff spot. I think that like you should still have to make the playoffs and still try to win the playoffs. But I would also argue that if you make the playoffs, you get to choose which team you play. Now, hear me out. If you pick a team that's a higher seed than you, you still don't get to have home court advantage. that way it still makes it important for you to have a higher seed. So, like, for instance, if you're like the 7th seed and you want to play the 6th seed, then what would happen is you would still have to play it there. You know, they would still have home court advantage. I think that would be a lot better. I think selecting the team you want to play, and it would be so fun. It would be so fun to hear, once the season concluded and they went to go make the playoff bracket, they would wait for that announcement of like, what team would you want to play, and it would just be so fun. Like, yo, why you calling us out? And it would give like more motivation. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would be really cool if they were to do that. That way it would be more incentive to win, especially if you're a team that you think you're not gonna like be a high seed, and you're like, yo, like we don't want to play the number 1 seed. Let's play like the number 6 seed. And you're like, all right, cool. But yeah, you still don't have home advantage, but at least you get to play a quote unquote easier team. And then they would just re-bracket, like let's say the 7 and 6 seed played each other. Obviously, the 1 and 8 would play the 2, and then the 2 and then the 5 seed would play, and then the 3 and the 4 seed would play. That's it. That's all you would do, And so then it would give incentive for, for everybody to try to win it, because then imagine, like you wouldn't want to be in that middle ground and you didn't get picked, because think about it. You're the 2 seed playing the 3 seed. Right? Especially if the 7th or 8th seed didn't want to play. Now it'd be like, let's say the 7th seed played the 8th seed, right? Then the 1 seed would play the 6th seed, and so on and so forth. So I think that would be pretty interesting. That'd be pretty interesting. So that's all I got really for that. I just don't think, please don't make it a guaranteed playoff spot, because then what is the, like, I can't think of the incentive for them to even try the rest of the season. They would just rest. What, like, they could, if they were let's say the Lakers were 14-9. What does give them any reason to win if they, have home court advantage, but like, is that really like, it is important, but like how important, like, that in a series, you still have to win on the road. So like, whether you play the first 2 games or whether you play the next 2 games, like whichever one you play first, at home or on the road, it doesn't really matter. You still have to win games on the road. So, I don't know. You guys let me know. What should be the reward for... All right, let's move on to topic 3. And this is going to be a good one. And this is where I want all y'all to tune into. And so, actually stand by. I had a whatchamacallit. I had a therapy session with my barber. Stand by. As my mic is muted. Let's talk about the 2 weeks off. All right, so let me give you the backstory, and then let me give you like everything that went happen, and then you guys can let me know what y'all think. So, as Thanksgiving hit, right, I was like, I went to the gym the next day. Obviously, I'm tired. I'm exhausted with all the food that we ate, and I had no issue. You know what I'm saying? Like going to the gym, but then like when I got there, I was sluggish or whatever, and then I was like, yo, I think I need to take some time off in the gym, and there's a lot of stuff going on, right? And so what I mean by that is like you have you have I'm not going to the gym because I'm been going to the gym. So if you guys didn't know, if you guys don't know me, right? I have an app on my phone that tracks like when I go to the gym and everything, right? So obviously I was been going to the gym consistently and I haven't felt like motivated. I haven't felt like, all right, like, like let's go, like I felt more like I'm not progressing, right? That's how I felt. Stand by. All right. So then, right? So now, yeah, for some reason it doesn't say that there's only one person in here. It's weird. Um, so then, right? So now I'm not going to the gym. And then, obviously, if you guys see, I'm a streamer. Well, trying to be a streamer. And the struggle to like obviously like there's a lot that we can talk about, and I want to get into this, but like then I start to focus on so I don't go to the gym, right? And then I stopped door dashing, right? And door dashing, like I wasn't not totally stopping, but I wasn't going as strong as I was. And then I was focusing on, you know, I was focusing on the streaming and making YouTube. And I thought that like, you get excited when you start to do something new. And then, you start to get hit with the no views or like the one view or the two view or the three view. And then, same thing with TikTok, right? Like TikTok is like fucking annoying when it comes to like you get to 200 views and it stops, but then one video has 200 views, it has 50 something likes, and then another view has like 500 views and like 10 likes. And you're like, what the fuck? TikTok is so weird. And so, all this negative stuff is coming to me, and I'm like, bro, like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, right? Like, and it's like stressing me the fuck out because it's like, I feel like I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to. And it's crazy because this past week I did go to the gym. And so it's like I had an epiphany. And I want you guys to know about this because this is very good, to everybody, right? Is everybody's thoughts and like what you see on the internet, what you see on, you know, social media, TVs and everything, and listening to everybody else. That's what the main part is listening to everybody else. Everybody says that doing stuff for the money is not good, right? Everybody says don't do it for the money. Do stuff that makes you happy. Do all this stuff. And I tried that, and a lot of y'all didn't know. I know some of y'all in here know me, but like for those who don't know me, I quit Walmart to pursue my happiness, right? Think about that. And it's been this big revelation these past 2 weeks, right? Because not only did I do nothing, right? I didn't make any progress. I mean, I probably made some progress on streaming and figuring out, how to make thumbnails better, how to, do different stuff, right? I give you that. But I was able to sit and realize that like I'm not on a purpose. And what is that purpose, you might ask? Because I did come to the conclusion. My purpose is to get money. And I lost sight of that. And what I mean by that is when I was working at Walmart, okay, I was making money. I had purpose. The problem was, and this is me not going through, how do I say this? this is just me learning, right? Like I haven't had to really deal with it. And so when I was working at Walmart making the money, I I didn't have enough discipline to continue to do stuff outside of that. And I didn't have to do that early in my, life, right? Like I never really had that. I didn't practice, you know, let's say going to school and then coming home and doing stuff. My thing was go to school, then go play basketball. Like that was like play basketball outside of my front yard. Like that was it. There wasn't like a, and this isn't a shot at nobody, right? Like, love my mom to death and love, my sister and all that stuff. It's not knock on you guys, but it was more of me. Like I didn't really have anybody around me that was like, yo, like you should go to the gym or you should try this. Now there was moments, right? But I never really had like a understanding of why I would do it. So with me now being, almost damn near 30 years old, like I was able to sit in those 2 weeks and go, I need to stop listening to everybody's thinking and understand that like I need money to do what I need to do, right? I can sit here and stream for 10 hours a day, but it ain't making me money. And like, yeah, I can do that and maybe have a good stream, but then I'm going to turn around and go, damn, I need to pay bills and I don't got no money. And so I realized that like, stop focusing on streaming, stop focusing on TikTok, stop focusing on making YouTube videos and go DoorDash. And so after my 2 weeks, I switched it up and I was like, yo, go to the gym, go DoorDash, then you can stream after work. And this is the fear that I have with all that. And this is why I felt like I needed to quit Walmart. And this is going to be this big fucking circle that you guys are going to realize. You guys are going to understand what I'm saying. Is how I just told you that I thought I couldn't do it, right? I go to work and I come home and I don't want to do that, where I know I need to do that. So I go to the gym, I go DoorDash, I don't want to stream. Now I'm back in the same loop again, right? But I take a different approach. I ask myself, why don't I want to stream? Instead of saying, oh, I can't do it because I've been working all day, I go, why? Why don't I want to hop on? And I'm not even saying streaming, let's say, right? I'm talking strictly just talking about playing video games, right? Like, why don't I want to come home and play video games? That's been a thing for me. That's been a thing for me since, honestly, since I like, since 2021, like after that, and I've started finding like inspiration and leveling up and all this stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking streamers. I'm not knocking people that play video games all day that make money. But if you're playing video games all day and you're not making money, it kind of just pisses me off because it literally like throws a wrench into my routine in my life because I understand how hard it takes to be good at a video game. I understand how long it takes to be good at a video game. So for me, when I'm not making money off of the video game, it like doesn't make me want to play it. Right? Like I don't want to sit down and play a video game and know I'm not making money off of it because I know I need to be making money. But you would sit here and say, well, you went to the gym, you worked, you made your money, right? Because you went to work. Why do you not want to come home and then try to stream or try to play video games? Because then I get deeper with it. The games aren't fun to me. They don't give me that same fulfillment as it does going to the gym and working on myself and then going to work and making my money. Right? It's such a weird dynamic that's in my head. And so what I've learned over these past 2 weeks, and this is why I'm doing this stream, because it's something that like I like to do. I love to talk, and you can ask anybody that knows me. I could sit here and talk all day about stuff. And that's why I want to do like this podcast, because I want to see if I can, attract people to a podcast where I can sit down and talk. Now, will I still try to stream? Absolutely. But to me, the games are not fun enough, fulfillment enough, not exciting enough, and they don't make money for me to sit there and play it. And here's the thing, right? Is I don't even want to sit down and play a video game off stream. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't give me any chance to do anything, right? Like, I'm not recording, I'm not doing any of that. So like, this is where like I hope to bring value to you guys is I did the leap, right? I was like, yo, everybody's like, do stuff that makes you happy. And I'm going to quote Gary Vee. And I know that Gary Vee will probably, he's a smart person and he would probably twist what I would say right here. But it's because I understand it, is that I took the jump, right? I took what he said. I know people that make $200,000 that are not happy. And then I know people that make $50,000 and that are happy. And again, I argue that people have to do a better job of explaining things clear, because in a world where there's a million things being said and a million things going on, or a million things that can happen, you got to say things clear. Here's what I would say. The reason why the person that's making $100,000 isn't happy, or $200,000 isn't happy, is because they're probably not working on themselves. The person that's making $50,000 and that is happy is probably working on themselves, right? And it's not that they're doing something they love. It's doing something that is a healthy balance for them, that makes them enough money right now for them to live and work on themselves. So I say that to say that I took the leap of making enough money to chasing something that was going to make me way less money, but it's not something that like I can like, how do I say this? I can't fully commit to it because it doesn't make enough money, right? And that's the part they forget to mention. The person that makes $50,000 and is happy versus the person that's $200,000 and that's not happy, the person that makes $50,000 is probably making enough money for their life. That's what needs to be said. Say the full story. If you're making $200,000 and not happy, but you can make $50,000 and be happy, does the $50,000 support the lifestyle you have? That's the question and answer that needs to be said. And so to bring it full circle back to me, is that part I didn't realize, because I had to figure it out for myself, because obviously these gurus don't say that. They don't look at it like that, and this is no shot to Gary Vee, but Gary Vee built a business first, then became popular and rich and all that good stuff, because obviously he didn't get any money. But I guarantee you he wasn't living poor. I guarantee you he was able to work on himself and do the shit that he wanted to do while still being financially secure, right? And this is where the value comes into people that don't have money, or not enough money, is you gotta have money to be able to do the shit you want to do and to be happy. And that's why I said in the beginning, my purpose is money. And I feel a lot better when I go DoorDash than I do streaming for 6 hours. Because I know at the end of the day, the money is more important. And so I say all that to say that I took the leap from leaving the job that made me money, to come and working on something that doesn't make me nearly as much money, and honestly not even enough money. And so I want you guys to understand that when someone says, like, for instance, I used to say this all the time, and I'm probably going to change the way I say it now. But when I was at Walmart and I worked at Walmart, I would always say to my associates, the only way you're going to leave is if you're getting promoted, right, to make more money. You're leaving this job to make more money, or you're going to do something you're happy with. Here's what I would say now with that third one, right? This one is, I would say go do something you're happy that makes you happy, but also makes you money. That's what I would say. And so if I was to redo my last probably year, is I probably, in hindsight 2020, wouldn't have left Walmart until I started doing the other stuff. But again, I will also argue, again, this is seeing it from both sides. I would also argue that I can't, I struggle with the balance of, like, I can go to the gym. The reason why I go to the gym is because it makes my body look good. That is a one a one for one reward. I go to the gym, I pay my dues because I put in the work, I get stronger muscles, I lose weight. One for one, very simple to me. I go to work. I DoorDash right now. I go and deliver an order for $6. I look at my account, there's $6 in my account. One for one. I have a vending machine business. I literally go, I stock the vending machine business, boom. One for one, I see the money go in there. Cool. I sit down to play a video game. I'm pissed off. I'm stressing out. I'm angry because the game that I'm playing is not fun. There's no one for one. Right? And so what happened is I was doing what everybody was telling me. You got to put the time in. It's going to take time. You're going to make the money eventually. You're going to get the, all the stuff eventually. Just take time. The problem with that is people will say too, oh, you didn't put enough work in. You didn't put enough effort in. You didn't try that hard. And so that's in my head. So what did I do? I stopped focusing on DoorDash. I stopped focusing on the gym. I stopped focusing on the vending machine. And I put my focus and attention to the streaming, to the video games, thinking that it was something I love. And the problem is at the end of the day, I finally realized I don't love video games. I just happen to use video games as my escape through my young childhood, right? When I finally got away from it, I realized I didn't need it. And I think at the end of the day, what happened was I fell into a trap where I was thinking back. I was like, man, I was really good at Call of Duty back in the day, but I haven't played a Call of Duty consistently since 2017. And I'm thinking, well, man, it'd be nice to stream video games and get paid for it and make money. You know why that was probably such a trigger for me? Was one, nostalgia, and two, what do you see on the internet? You see streamers, you see YouTubers on the internet showing off all this money they make, not intentionally, but you can see it. But you don't see the Walmart worker. You don't see the Walmart associate that goes to work and is living a great life because he's able to go to the gym. He's able to do his job and then go home and work on something else. Right? You don't see that. And I think that that's what happened. I think I fell into a trap of seeing an easy out, a quick out. And I'm not saying I'm going to give up on streaming. I'm doing it right now. And I have time to. Like, this is within my schedule. I'm literally about to go handle my vending machine business after this. And I want you guys to understand that whenever we're not on our shit and we're going through like a quote unquote depression, I'm not going to say depression isn't real, because it is. Like, I think that depression is more of like a moment to moment type deal. Because I think what depression is more of, it's a sign telling you something's wrong and you need to fix it. But what a lot of people do is they sit in their depression and then they try to find um what's it, instant gratification. And so like I said, I told myself mentally I was going to stop going to the gym. I wasn't door dashing. And so what did I turn to? I turned to video games. And I think at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying video games are bad. I would also argue that the video games nowadays are not as good as they used to be because the games are made for you to spend money on the video game. You know, I would argue that a lot of people that make video games nowadays, like, or anybody that plays video games nowadays is just like, they're blinded by how good a game is or how bad a game is. Like, I think we can easily tell how good a game is. But to my point, their video games are blinding people that are actually depressed and need to go work on themselves. And so as much as I want to play video games on my spare time, like on my free time, I want to hop on, get my little fix. But like, honestly, like, that's why I don't play video games long anymore. You know, I don't really like, I did a stream that was 9 hours and I was playing Fortnite and I decided to do a challenge. And that challenge happened to be win a match in each of the game modes. So you have solos, duos, trios, and squads. And it took me 9 hours to do that. And I would argue that the only time that I really, really had fun was the last 2 times when I played with other people. And it's crazy how games these days don't understand that. And it's like, I want to play with my friends. I want to play with people I want to play with. That's what makes a game fun. And to my point is, you see how every step of the way it covers up something, right? My argument to the DoorDash, right? Because they're like, well, then why did you leave Walmart? So the reason why I left Walmart is because I felt like I didn't have enough time to do stuff outside of work. Because I was so keen and locked in on the fact that I needed to go do stuff that I was happy with. Not realizing the reason why I came home and I didn't want to do stuff was because that stuff doesn't make me happy. Right? It's not fun for me. So people that go to school all day and have energy to do the shit outside of school is because they want to go do that shit. And obviously school isn't important to them. Right? Same thing with people that go to work and have all this energy after work and want to do all this shit. It's because they don't care about the job part. I'm different. And maybe some of you are too. I get my fulfillment from earning money by having a purpose, right? I want to take care of people, right? Like, let me make this very clear. I want to earn so much money that I can go buy whatever I want for other people. I don't care for me. I don't want to buy stuff for me. You know what I'm saying? I do, but I'd rather buy someone else something. Right? If I have the money, I would rather buy someone else something because I want to see the joy in their face, because that's my fulfillment. That's my purpose, right? So me streaming video games, especially, right, on games that aren't fun to me, is not fulfilling. And that's my conclusion to my past 2 weeks is I took 2 weeks off. I didn't go to the gym and I didn't DoorDash, and I focused on something that doesn't give me any of those two things. It doesn't give me money and it doesn't make people happy, which then put me in a depression state for a couple of weeks. And then I realized, you know, and shout out to the girlfriend, because she made a very, very huge point to me. And I don't know if you remember, if you said this, if you're still watching, is you had said something on the lines of, you're not making money. And that's what clicked in my head. And I realized that, like, making money, and people are not going to like this because they're going to say money is the root of all evil and this, that, and the third. And I'm going to argue that I just don't agree with, that sentiment, because at the end of the day, you have to play the game of life. And the game of life is you need money to do stuff in the world. And if I want to make people happy more than just the bare minimum, I'm going to need some money, right? And so it all ties back into my purpose is to make people happy, but I know that I need the money. And me making the money makes me feel a lot better and relaxed than coming home and playing a video game that benefits really nobody, right? Unless I'm playing with a group of people. Because then at that point, I'm hanging out with people. I'm hanging out with friends, which then in turn ideally makes them happy. So I hope you guys took a lot from that. What I'm saying is do what's going to make you happy, but makes you enough money. That's my quote. That's my quote. Do what's going to make you happy, but is also going to make you enough money for you to be happy. Because at the end of the day, you can't just go work for free. You can't do anything for free. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they forget to say that because they have so much money, or the rich people have so much money. They forget that part of it because in their head, they've been living life with enough money that they don't have to think about the money. And so they forget to teach that. So I want to teach that. Go do stuff that you're happy. Go do stuff that's going to make you happy, but makes you enough money. And so with that being said, my lesson that I'm learning is that I'm going to focus back. I'm going to get focused back up on the gym, right? I want a six-pack because I want my girlfriend to see a hot guy. That's the truth. I don't want my girlfriend to think that I'm getting lazy on her, and I don't want my girlfriend to walk around, any store that she's at and go and have second thoughts of like, man, my guy's getting fat, and look at this guy, he looks good. I can just go with him, right? Like, I don't want that, right? It also boosts my confidence because when you feel good, you look good, it gives you that confidence because then it makes everything a lot easier. You can wear whatever you want. You can kind of at some point start to eat whatever you want, but it's also the other fold. If you're eating healthy and going to the gym, you can also argue that, like, I'm not to be cocky or anything about it, but you can also argue that you're healthier than everybody else or you're better than people. And it's not like a cocky thing, but it's the confidence thing. You want to have that confidence. And then the other thing too is to get back into DoorDash and making money. Now, my argument to that is DoorDash doesn't make me a lot of money right now. So what I'm doing is I'm going to ride it and see how long I can go while still trying to do in this streaming, while still trying to do this and stuff. But I'm going to focus on DoorDash. And if I need to, maybe go back to Walmart or maybe find a job and go pursue that career while I'm working on this, or maybe I just work on the career and then focus on, saving money and maybe start to invest my money into, stuff. That's what I'm going to do. And then thirdly is, do this stuff on my spare time. Make a TikTok when I want to make a TikTok. Make a YouTube video when I make a YouTube video. Stream when I want to stream. I really wanted to stream today. That's why I did this video. It's because I really wanted to stream. And so hopefully you guys can take a lesson from that. Like, it's okay to have moments of depression. It's okay to have bad days. You're going to have bad days. And me and my sister talk about this all the time. Dakota, if you're still in here, shout out, say that you agree. But you're going to have bad days. The problem that people always seem to forget is they have to make up for that bad day. So yeah, you can sit and have a bad day. You can call it out all day long. But what are you going to do about that bad day? How do we avoid having more bad days? You know what I'm saying? And so if you have a bad day, you should be going into your next day guns a-blazing, ready to fucking kill it. And this is what I used to do at Walmart. I knew if I had a bad stocking day, like maybe I struggled through the day, maybe we had a bad day. I was like, bro, I'm gonna go home, get some sleep, and I'm gonna go to work the next day and I'm gonna fucking kill it. And I would be so motivated the next day that it would last a couple days because I would do so much work that next motivated day that there would be not a bad day for a little bit of time. And then eventually got to the point where it's like, you know, like I would start to find things that would motivate me to make sure that I didn't have a bad day. So if I knew I had a day off, I would go Super Saiyan by Friday. So that way the next day off, it was very easy for them. So that way when I came back on my Monday, right? I didn't have so much work to do. And so hopefully you guys can take that, you know, understand that, like, you know, life is all, you have to find what your purpose is. And then that's what's going to make you happy. You know, don't sit here and, you know, there's waves that I go through, like where I listen to, you know, it's good to listen to a motivational speaker when you're in the dump, when you're in a hole, because you have to get the motivation to get out of that hole. The problem is the motivational person needs to kind of go away because you have to motivate yourself. And so in this moment in my time, I actually don't listen to motivational speakers. I don't listen to Gary Vee, not because I don't like him, but because I don't need him right now. I don't need them right now. What I need to do is I need to get on the grind. I need to stop fucking making excuses. I need to put my ass in the gym. I need to put my ass in my car and go DoorDash. And when the vending machine opportunities need to come up, I need to take care of it. And then that's the little things too. You know, like I just signed up for my insurance yesterday. Open enrollment for insurance stops tomorrow. Right? Once I get my email that I have my policies and shit, I'm going to go and I'm going to get new glasses. I'm going to get new contacts, right? I fixed my whiteboard. I have another whiteboard, not this one, but I have another one that's over here. I do that. I ordered pieces for my vending machine because my vending machine is broken, right? There's so many things that you have to take care of on a daily basis that you just need to do. And it's going to make you happy. But I have allowed the streaming to overtake my life these past couple weeks, not couple weeks, but couple months, because after I lost Top Dasher, that really threw me in a loop, because that was the one thing that actually means something to me because it makes money. And, you know, you guys don't want to see someone streaming that's not necessarily happy, right? You guys want to see streamers that are either really good at something or that they're happy and positive and spread good juju. And that's what I want to be, you know? And so for me to do that, I need to focus on the gym and I need to focus on DoorDash. And so, you know, even just talking about this gives me the insight, right? Like I think about the gym, right? Like maybe I start doing gym videos again. Maybe I just got an inspiration doing gym videos. You know, maybe I start to talk about health, or I'm making a gym video, you know, about like what I do, or, you know, stuff like that, you know. Hey, this is why these are good. This is why these are awesome. But hey, that's going to wrap it up. If you guys have any comments, thoughts, leave them in the comments below after the video. I will edit the video for the timestamps so you guys know what topics we're talking about. So if you guys want to go watch another segment, maybe you missed a different segment. But again, like I said, this is episode 2. We're going to learn. We're going to get better. You know, like I said, these kind of are going to be random, because honestly, you guys can come back and watch them. They're not going to be long. They're about an hour and 10. Look, we're at an hour and 10 and I'm about to wrap it up. I don't want 2, 3 hour, 4 hour podcasts unless I'm talking with somebody else. But for me, like, you know, I want to talk about a couple of topics and move on. Guther, I will definitely, if you're still here, I'll have to hit you up, see what ideas he wants to do. Maybe we do a Discord. I don't know how I show a Discord on here, but with that being said, hey, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys on the next one.